Hey, what's going on everybody? Robert Marzullo here with Ram Studios, and today I got a video for you. I know traditionally I do mainly comic book stuff to show you, but I got something else that I figured would be right up my alley for what I do a lot, and I thought it might be popular for the YouTube channel here and for people even in the comic book profession, because all this stuff can apply. What it's going to be is traditional flames. I typically do these for like car graphics, which is my profession at the moment, but trying to doing more and more with comic book illustration and segue into that. But I'm just going to show you how to create traditional graphics, flames. It's pretty easy, but if done right, it looks really cool. I've done them on pretty much everything. You could use these for cars, boats, motorcycles. Are real popular actually on motorcycles, and it's just kind of this repetitive pattern that you see that I'm drawing, but the variation that you give to it is the length of the licks. These are called licks, and then also the recessed kind of teardrop effect here. So I'll kind of sketch this out and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like I like to do, like, say, a little shorter one here, a little taller one here. Sometimes I'll reverse the pattern by doing the longer one to this side now. And the thing that I think makes flames look really cool is if you have a nice long stretched out tip like this. It looks very sleek, I would say. And then it's just about randomizing it, but not too much. Like the difference from here to here is kind of a little too dramatic, but I generally would clean this up a little bit inside of, I kind of use software when I finish these out. In this particular instance, I'm not going to. I'm just going to do this by hand to show you. And I actually have done flames totally by hand, where I didn't use the software and I actually pinstriped them on a car, then airbrushed them in. And those came out pretty cool too. So you could do it that way too if you don't have the means for computer-aided graphics or whatever you're doing. And see, I'll just take these last two and I'll kind of try making them a little bit smaller to finish it out. You see, I kind of sketch my lines. There's a couple ways to do it. Some people may do more of a one smooth continuous line. I can do that too, but I do a little bit better sketching first for my first initial stage. Like anything else, like if you're drawing, whether it be comics, cartoons, whatever, you almost always want to do that first initial sketch. Now another way to do them is to bring these forward like this. Actually, I'll go ahead and bring this further down like this, and then do a negative up here. This looks particularly good on car graphics to do it this way. These can be a little bit smaller. And then what that does is it adds another level of dimensionality, or whatever you want to call it, if that's even a word. But another level of dimension to it. So you just kind of repeat this step like that. See, now that these are smaller flames, I'm kind of doing that one sweeping motion. And then over here, one little end flame again. And back over to here. Maybe one more small one. I can fit it in there. Yeah, these are a little bit too far pushed over, but I'll try to fix this a little bit in the inking stage. I may erase this guy. It looks a little too forced, and spread this one over a little bit. So that's my initial sketch of the flame pattern. And you kind of picture if this was on the front end of a car or something, or it's not my cup of tea, but say it was a tattoo wrapped around a leg, whatever. You want flames on your legs? Bam, there you go. So tomato, whatever you like, But so what I'm going to do here is go ahead and erase this guy, and then I'll go to the inking stage, and then maybe I'll color this up and show you how you could really bring this out. Okay, so now we've got the basic outline done with the ink or whatever. I just used a brush tip pen, and it's a little bit difficult for me from this angle. I'm having to work with the camera over top, which I'm not used to. And I actually bear down on my artwork a lot. I actually draw very close to my artwork and tight to it, so I'm having to stand back, and there was a little test there to improve my my abilities, so to get accurate from drawing further away, which I need to do. So I'll erase the pencil lines like this. I'll fill in some color so that we can really bring these flames out. And it's good to do stuff like this even before you do rendition on a car, custom graphics. Definitely good before you go ahead and airbrush something. Really gets you kind of a template to work from before you go spray and paint on somebody's car, which can always be scary your first couple times. But I've done it so much I'm used to it now. But I definitely love the freedom of doing my vinyl work, where I can do all this stuff preliminary on the computer, get it the way I want, and then print it out. But now what I'll do here, just to figure out the color combo we're going to use, I'm going to use Prismacolor markers. They're real nice to work with. And I'll just kind of figure out the color real quick. So I usually dummy up a little small flame or something like this, whatever, just for color. I can do it on this little sketch card, and then make sure that I get the right colors that I want to use before I go too far into it. Usually I'll do like the yellow, and then kind of tip it off with the orange like this. I basically just work to the hotter colors. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I'm not good with color theory, but to where it looks like a flame. And then at the very tip, I might even do this on the outside of the black edging. I usually do like purple. And it's just kind of a hot rod look. So with that, those are going to be the colors that I'm going to use. So I'll go ahead and pull those aside. And I might use a little blue in there, so I'll keep this one. Actually, tell you the truth. Yeah, those are good. Alright, so let's color this bad boy up and see what we get. Oh. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and color just a portion of this. I'll show you the effect that I'm going to go for, and then I'll go ahead and time lapse the rest, so you don't have to watch this lengthy process of me coloring. Not the quickest colorist anyway, so no sense in boring you to death. Okay, so now what I'll do is, since I got my yellow base there, I'll come in with the orange. And actually, you know what? I might use the other one because I think it's got a brush tip on it. Yeah, I think this will still be a good enough orange. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright, so what I'll do now is kind of brush in this orange, kind of giving it more of a bezel. I'll fill in the tips up here. But then as I come down onto the side of it, like I said, I tend to think of it as a bezel or bevel, or however you look at that, but then fill in the tips. That just gives it a little bit more depth. And I'll bring that same outline effect all the way around, and you'll see that when I get down to this inner teardrop effect, I usually thicken it out a bit right there. And again, that's just to create the effect of some depth. See that? I'll just by bringing this in just a little bit more, maybe darken the hair more than the rest, you're going to get a little bit more depth there. See that? So now I'll go ahead and do the rest that way, and I'll fill in some of the, actually I'll show you that part too, I guess. I'll fill in the tips with more of a red, like that. be real sparingly with that portion, and that'll just kind of, you know, hot rod it up a bit, give it a little bit more to look at. So okay, I'll go ahead and time lapse the rest, and we'll see what we come up with. Alright, so there you got it, or there you have it, how I would do some hot rod style flames. And I didn't know how far I wanted to bring the purple down into it, and I tried to blend the purple into the black line, which honestly in a traditional flame job I wouldn't have the black line. I probably would have used the purple thicker here for the tips and then blended it down as a pinstripe around it, or even a brighter blue sometimes looks cool. I've even messed around and used a lime green in that kind of setting. So, you know, you just kind of have to dink around with that. I've seen a lot of flames too where they'll come down from these colors. There might be more orange in here and more white into here where the yellow fills in. So it's just a matter of style and how you would like to execute it. But hopefully that showed you something. Hopefully you liked it. If you liked this video and like to see more like this one, be sure to let me know in the comments section, and like and subscribe, and of course please share. And now for the best part, the signature. This is what makes it worth $1,000,000, ladies and gentlemen. Right there. Anyways, alright, so thanks for watching, and hope you learned something. So keep drawing and keep having fun. See ya.